What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer Day with TK. It's Saturday afternoon here in Findlay, Ohio. Anderson and I just got back from filming the latest episode of Beer with the Brewers at Maquereau Brewing. I got to do a little bit of editing. Once I fix the audio a little bit, I'll upload that. So in the next couple days, if you're interested, you can kind of see what it's like to go to Maquereau Brewing, which is also here in Findlay, and we talk to the owners and brewers a little bit, so you can get a little bit of insight into that brewery. The beer that we have today is called
Oude Groseille à Maquereau Verte Tilquin à l'ancienne.
So you got that right. It's real easy. It's Oude Groseille à Maquereau Verte Tilquin l'ancienne.
I'm glad you butchered that.
Yeah, there's no way. That's why we went with the pronunciation there, man. That's rough. I know I'm probably going to anger all the Belgians or French folks or whoever had to listen to my butchering your language. This is a goose, and it's a gooseberry goose. So a goose is kind of an interesting style of beer. They're similar to, but different from gozes. You're probably familiar with gozes. You see quite a few of those out in the market. But this is slightly different. So basically this is a blended beer where they take several years worth of the similar kind of lambic beer, mix them together, blend them like you would alcohol, and boom, you get this bad boy here. So you picked this up out in Cleveland, right?
Yes, I picked it up at Rosie's Wine House last night.
Okay. It's definitely an interesting looking brew. It's got some language on the back which is too small, so Anderson will have to read it until I get new glasses.
Beer of spontaneous fermentation. This beer is made from the fermentation of 260 grams of green gooseberries, however you want to pronounce that.
Gooseberries.
By liter of lambic. Unfiltered and unpasteurized, this beer is re-fermented in the bottle. Ingredients: water, malt, wheat, hops, and gooseberries.
Okay. The other difference I was reading, I did a little bit of reading on this style of beer. One of the differences between a goza and a goose is that this is, I guess, spontaneously fermented via the wild, where with the gozas, there's actually bacteria introduced to speed up the fermentation progress, so it's slightly different there. Also quite interesting, when I was reading about the goose style, they had some tasting notes.
Did they?
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. One of the sources I was reading said that it might taste like a horse blanket. And I thought to myself, who in the world knows what a horse blanket tastes like?
Why would you be tasting a horse blanket?
Listen, this was the tasting notes that if you were like maybe one of the Cicerone type folks or whatever, it said the things would taste like was leather. I've heard people say leather before, and I think what are you licking an old catcher's mitt? Like you know what
they
I mean?
they just make this stuff up.
Yeah.
I know.
Horse blanket. What's a horse blanket taste like, dude?
I know if you watch Don and his reviews, he uses that craftbeer.com's tasting list.
Yeah.
And I went and checked it out, and one of the things it shows in their different descriptors is sweat socks. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
grabbing somebody's sweat socks, sucking the sweat out of them or something? Like, come on, man.
It's a little ridiculous. Look, you went full Biden on me with the come on, man. Went all in there. Yeah, it's a bit crazy. So we'll give this a shot. Hopefully it doesn't taste like horse blankets or we're going to be in trouble, right? This says 2019-2020. Ratings-wise, it does pretty good. On Untapped, at a 4.14. Beer Advocate, a 4.08, although there was only 7 check-ins to try to not blind myself.
Well, it's interesting, the date on the bottle. On the back, it says Best by 2030.
Yeah, we got a Best By.
And I wouldn't have guessed that this style was good for aging.
February 28th.
But apparently it is.
2030. So this got a nice shelf life. If you're worried about the apocalypse, stock up on the gooses. They'll still be good in an extended period. Let's see what we got here. It's got a nice smell to it.
Vigorous carbonation. Does it have a nice smell? I can't smell it yet.
Yeah, I can pick up the fruit. Now, again, a gooseberry is not something that I frequently eat or even see at the store or even know what the heck it looks like.
Or do you know what it tastes like either?
No, I mean, I can't say I have gooseberries frequently. Ooh, it's got a nice smell.
Yes, it does. It's got a nice frothy head to it, big bubbles.
Yeah. First things first, color. It's quite cloudy. I'd say probably like a dark straw. Almost has a little bit of like an amber color to it, like a little bit there. Fair amount of carbonation. Tons of bubbles going nuts in
almost
there.
Like champagne carbonation.
Yeah,
like.
Real small bubbles. Head, it's kind of moderate. It's, probably a 3/4 of a finger or a pinky's worth there. But the smell, I think you pick up maybe a little bit of oak. Definite funkiness. You know this is going to be a funky beer.
Does it smell like a horse blanket?
I don't even know what a horse blanket smells like. Man, I grew up in Philadelphia. I don't know what horses smell like or what their blankets taste like.
So absurd.
I just make this shit up, dude. They make it up so they sound fancier than us, right? Because they say, oh, it tastes like horse blankets. You'd be like, oh, of course, horse blankets. I think you pick up some oak from the barrels on this.
Yeah,
you
pick up some oak and funkiness and
some fruitiness of some sort. Again, I can't say that it's some gooseberry smell, but
nondescript fruitiness. But maybe that's what the gooseberries smell like. I just don't have a frame of reference for that.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's definitely a fruity smell.
You ready to give it a shot?
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. That is a big...
There's some tartness there.
A big tartness to it. We were talking about this earlier. One of the things that I don't know, it's like a pet peeve, I think, is a lot of beers will say they're sours or tarts. And honestly, like some of them are super sour. Some of them are, you wouldn't even say it's a sour or tart or anything. So there's like this great range of what comes in the sour category. This is on the high end. This is definitely sour. Has a nice taste. So you feel it, like even after you drink it, it's like in your mouth, like the lip puckering tartness to it.
And for a second there's almost some spicy, peppery kind of note that's just there and gone in a second.
Now, the one thing I will say, I think that, now again, I'm not 100% sure what the gooseberry tastes like. It doesn't taste as fruity as I thought it would.
No.
Like if you've had some of the other lambics, you know what I mean? Like the Lindemans ones, I think those are kind of more... there's some funkiness to them, but they're sweeter, more like a soda kind of, really nice taste. This is just straight funky. It's got the funkiness. Maybe you pick up a little bit of the oakiness as well. There is a little bit of a pepper, like a little bit of a peppery something in it. But it's definitely a unique taste. Now, I would say this is probably not for everybody. I'd imagine there are a lot of folks that wouldn't dig this.
No, this is definitely
a fairly big boy sour.
Yeah, if this was going to be your first sour, you would be really shocked.
Yeah. Or
your first goose, even, you'd probably be really shocked at the flavors.
Yeah, I think the one crazy thing is even once you drink it, you still get like that tartness. Like it doesn't leave your mouth almost. It's like it's there. It almost makes your mouth feel like dry or something, man. I think it's a pretty interesting beer.
And it's definitely funky like Biz Marquis.
Yes, it is. Rest in peace to the diabolical Biz. It passed away yesterday. It's a sad day for hip-hop community, I guess, there, right? I used to listen to Biz on Rock the Bells. He used to have a radio show.
Very innovative artist.
Yeah.
One of a kind.
And he'd always say things are funky. And when I drink this, you know what we think?
It's funky.
Definitely. So, Oude Groseille, a Maquereau Verte Tilquin l'Ancienne, you would get a thumbs up. I would drink this again.
Absolutely thumbs up for this.
I promise I'll never try to pronounce it again, but I would drink it again if we could find it.
And I don't see any horse blanket in it either.
No, they had these in other flavors too, right? Other than the gooseberry one?
Well,
in theory, they
on their social media, they showed a whole wide range of flavors, but by the time I got to the store, that was the last bottle of this.
You know why, don't you?
And the other flavors were gone.
Because it's gooseberry. They probably bought all the raspberry or the creeks, the cherries, all the common fruits that we Americans are familiar with. Probably went quick, and the gooseberry got left over till last.
I don't even know what other flavors there were because, like I said, this was the last bottle of this that was left. I got lucky to get this one.
Oh, hey, look, $15.99 too. So this wasn't a cheap beer, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's worth the money. It's a very unique beer, very good beer, and I'm thrilled we got the chance to give it a shot. So if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, you have any comments or questions, please jump in down below. Hey, if you have a favorite lambic or a favorite goose, let me know what it is. I like the style. I like to try to find a few more of these, a little something different. You can only drink so many imperial stouts and lagers and milkshake IPAs, right? You got to switch it up a little bit. Hey, thanks for watching. Until next time, cheers.